2021 CR 7771, State of Texas versus Christian Cordero. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Meredith McIntyre for the state.
For the defense?
Tilden Schaefer for Mr. Cordero. Good
And
morning.
are you Mr. Cordero? You need to unmute.
Yes, ma'am.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objection from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Any objection from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Cordero, I'm showing you what's entitled defendant's consent to appear by video. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Counsel, I'm showing you the discovery acknowledgement. Have you received all the discovery in this case, and did you review it with your client?
I have, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Cordero, I'm showing you what's entitled application for deferred adjudication or community supervision. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it, and did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Next, I'm showing you what's entitled true bill of indictment. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
I do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Cordero, I'm showing you what's entitled court admonishments and defendant's waivers and affidavit of admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you're charged with burglary of a habitation? That's a second-degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any, I'm sorry, just one moment. I'm getting a lot of feedback on my end. Mr. Cordero,
Yes, ma'am.
do you understand if the court grants your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication is revoked, the court could find you guilty, not grant you community supervision, and sentence you up to 20 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to this offense?
He has, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
He does.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Cordero, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. I'm showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that page with your attorney and did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea bargain agreement, there's a $1,000 fine probated. State recommends deferred adjudication. Taking consideration JN 1974481, there's to be no contact with Jose Garcia, Johnny, JOHNNY, Alonzo, and Joshua Reyes. Did you understand that to be the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense, is that the plea bargain agreement?
It is, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Judge.
Next, I'm showing you the paragraph entitled waiver repeal. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, are there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you outside the plea bargain agreement. The state is requesting that your deferred adjudication be for a term of 5 years. There be a TAP evaluation, 120 hours of community service restitution, intensive outpatient treatment, the theft course, and obtain a high school diploma or GED if applicable. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, ma'am.
Enter the indictment. How do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
State any evidence to support the defendant's plea.
State offers State's Exhibit 1 attachment.
Any objections?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Cordero, I'm going to show you what's entitled Waiving Consent to Stipulation of Testimony and Stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. The court will accept into evidence State's Exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, after reviewing State's Exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty. However, the court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are we proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor. We'll waive PSR.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Judge, my client is young. He's got a bit of a record, but I just think this is a good opportunity for him to get grounded. I think, one thing we take for granted is diplomas and GEDs, and he doesn't have either one. And I think that's kind of a good start for him. I've spoken to his family. His mother is very concerned and involved. And I just think it's time for this young man to grow up. I'd ask you to follow the plea agreement.
All right, Mr. Cordero, how old are you?
19.
Why are you giving your mom heartache and worry?
Honestly, I was just being stupid.
No. I mean, you made a decision to kick in somebody's door. And you know what happens when you kick in doors in Texas of people's homes and you're burglarizing it?
Yes, ma'am.
You're probably going to end up getting shot. So why are you kicking in doors in Texas, or for that matter, anywhere?
I made a foolish decision. I wasn't thinking at the time. I take responsibility for what I did. I'm not trying to make any excuses. I didn't do that. I regret doing that. It was just stupid of me to do that.
No, I mean, you made a decision. You made choices. So where were you living at the time this happened?
I was living with my mom.
I'm sorry, what?
I was living with my mom, but I wasn't staying with my mom for like 2-3 weeks.
Why?
We just weren't getting along at the moment.
Why were you not getting along with your mom?
Or just disagreements and little stuff like that. It's nothing.
Disagreement on what?
Just like a lot of stuff. How to say it, just a lot of stuff. We didn't agree on a lot of stuff.
Okay, Mr. Cordero, you're saying a lot of words, but you're not telling me anything. So let's unpack the suitcase. When's the last time you used drugs?
I don't like 4 months ago before I came in here.
All right, and what drugs were you using?
Just marijuana.
And what else?
That's it.
Here's the thing, Mr. Cordero, I'm trying to set conditions for you where you can be successful. So if you're using more than marijuana, you need to let me know so that I can figure out what treatment to give you. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So what are the drugs that you've tried?
I've been just using marijuana. I don't do any other drugs.
Why didn't you graduate from high school?
I was in and out of juvenile a lot of times. I kept having to re-enroll in high school, and it got to the point where I just basically said, screw it. I just stopped going.
So does his mom want him living with her? Does anyone know?
I believe so. Honestly, my memory is yes. She would take him back in, but he's going to have to follow the rules.
All right. Does anyone know the address?
For his mother?
Yes.
I know it.
All right. This is what I'm going to do. I'm not going to have it announced on the live stream, but I'm putting in here as defendant is to reside with You're gonna reside with your mom.
Yes, ma'am. What would it mean by
We're gonna do GPS, waive fees, or place him on deferred or indigent status. You're gonna have a curfew of 6 p.m. There is to be, I'm sorry, this is the court's entire sentence. 5 years deferred adjudication, $1,000 fine probated, taking consideration JN 1974481, no contact with Jose Garcia, Johnny Alonzo, Joshua Reyes, 120 hours community service restitution. 40 of those will be waived if you obtain the COVID vaccine. The court is not requiring you to get the vaccine. However, if you do, 40 hours will be deducted. Theft course, defendant is to reside with his mother. There's to be GPS, waive fees, or placed on indigent status. He has a curfew of 6 p.m. There's to be regular Zoom reporting or in person. You are to obtain your GED or some higher level of education or trade school. And if you obtain that, the remaining hours of your community service will be waived. Proof of employment within 30 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. I'm going to want field visits, random, 3 times per month. I'm going to want regular UAs. And Rebecca, if you could have him tested for levels. Rebecca, is there anything else he needs?
Are we gonna hold off on the intensive outpatient?
Yes, let's see how he does. And then if he tests positive or levels increase, then we'll start with intensive outpatient treatment. Mr. Cordero, is there anything else you need from the court in order to be successful?
No, ma'am. But I do have a question.
Yes.
What do you mean GPS? Like, would I have to be on GPS, like probation?
Oh, yeah, you're going to be on GPS until further notice.
Is that like the ankle monitor thing?
Yes.
And do I have to wait for like the TAP evaluation to get out of here?
No, you're not going to be released until you get that GPS on.
Okay. All right.
I'm showing you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we can go off the record. Mr. Cordero, you're starting off on the wrong foot in what we call the journey of life. Where you are now doesn't necessarily mean this is where you're going to end up. You're going to have to change your ways. Other 1 or 2 things going to end up happening. You may end up being dead because you may continue to want to kick in people's doors, or you may end up in prison. You're at an age where you still have more of your life in front of you than behind you. When you go to your mom's house, guess what? You follow her rules. You know why? Because you don't have a place of your own. You get a place of your own, you can do whatever you want to do inside your house. That's why you have that curfew. Do you understand? And when your mom tells you to wash dishes, clean trash, rake the leaves, you need to do that. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 2. Probation will go over conditions with you.
Yes, ma'am.
And Rebecca, you can go to breakout room number 2.
And Judge,
Yes.
just to be clear, since you're allowing him to work, I get this would be partial GPS.
Yes.
Okay, just want to make sure that was, if I could
Sure.
go to the breakout room as well, Judge.
Court is calling 2021 CR 7771, State of Texas versus Christian D. Cordero. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
To the state.
Defense?
Travis Kettner, Your Honor, for Christian Cordero. We're ready.
Are you Christian Daniel Cordero?
Yes, Your Honor.
Going to show you what's entitled. Just one moment. All right, in the box, if y'all could please whisper because you're talking behind the court reporter. All right, I'm going to show you what's entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision. And also First Amendment Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision. Did you review those documents with your attorney? Did you understand them? You're gonna need to speak up.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you all need to whisper in the box. All right. Are you the same Christian Daniel Cordero who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2021 CR 7771 for the offense of burglary of habitation force on October 8, 2021 for a period of 5 years? Is that you?
Yes.
All right, state.
Sorry.
And also in this case, I don't have a trial court certification of defendant's rights to appeal.
I apologize.
That's okay.
I'll take it.
Judge, this is on the first amended motion. On or about the 20th day of November, 2023 in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant, Christian Daniel Cordero, committed the offense of unlawful carry of a weapon in violation of condition number 1.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True.
Violating condition number 4 in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant, Christian Daniel Cordero, is then and there failed to report to the supervision officer as directed for the months of January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December 2022 in violation of condition number 4.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True.
Violating condition number 4 in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant, Christian Daniel Cordero, did then and there fail to report to the supervision officer as directed for the months of January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October 2023 in violation of condition number 4.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True.
Your Honor, we waive the other violations alleged in the motions.
Any objections?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Did you understand by pleading true to violations 1, 4, and 4, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, sentence you up to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine?
Yes.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of conditions 1, 4, and 4?
Yes.
Court will find violation of conditions 1, 4, and 4 true. Is there a proposed agreement?
There is, Your Honor. We're asking that you adjudicate the defendant guilty, grant the motion to adjudicate the defendant guilty and sentence the defendant to 5 years in the prison. The state will take into consideration the new number 1s, which are the UCW handgun is CC 721928, and the drug charges are case number 739382, 739383, and 739384.
All right, is that the agreement?
It is, Your Honor. I just want to come back to the 80 days that we've talked about my client receiving credit that he was held on a warrant on this case in the Guadalupe County Jail while he had a case pending over there. In addition to it's approximately 130 days.
All right, are you asking the court to follow this agreement?
Yes.
Are you waiving your right to appeal?
Yes.
All right, you need to do a trial court certification, counsel. All right, Mr. Cordero, obviously you have some issues. If you would like, I can request a therapeutic community for you. Whether or not you are placed in the therapeutic community is completely up to the prison. I have no control over it. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right. It's to address any drug issues that you may or may not have. And also it can help you with any type of mental health issues that you may or may not have. Do you understand?
Yes.
Would you like that or no? It doesn't increase the length of time that you're at the jail or at the prison.
No.
All right. How old are you?
21.
All right. So you're 21. You're starting off your life in a bad way. You are on deferred adjudication. All you had to do was complete this successfully and you could be free in the world, but you chose prison. You understand?
Yes.
All right. The court is finding 1, 4, and 4 true. Going to sentence you to 5 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. Take in consideration county court cause number 721928, NIMAC number 739. Just 1 second. 739383, 739384. And there was one other.
Yes, sir. 739382.
739382, and I'll give you credit for time served that you served in Guadalupe County of 80 days.
Thank you.
And there's to be no contact with Jose Garcia, Johnny Alonzo and Joshua Reyes. I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, we can go off the record. I don't know what's happening with young people these days, but I would always tell people, life is simple, people make it hard. People don't believe me when I say this, but my mom would tell you, I never gave her any trouble. My mom set ground rules and says, this is your curfew. My curfew, if it was at 9 o'clock, I would be at home by 8:30 because things can happen. People would say, Stephanie, why are you not challenging her curfew? And you know what I would tell them? My mom, I think she loves me. So obviously she's setting this curfew for a reason. Whether I think it's arbitrary or not, doesn't matter. These are the rules. And guess what? I would be home at 8:30. Everything would be fine. Now, my brothers, sometimes they would come in past the curfew and they would get punished. And I'm like, all you had to do was come in by curfew time. You wouldn't even receive any punishment. So for you, you're going to have to change your ways. Otherwise, what's going to end up happening, you're going to find yourself in and out of prison, in and out of jail in different counties. You need to make sure you get your GED at the prison. You can get your GED for free. You can even get a college degree for free. I had to pay back loans for my education, but you'll be able to do it for free. Taxpayers, somebody's paying for it. You understand?
Yes. Yes.
If you don't change your life, it's not going to go well for you. All right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Good luck to you. Okay?
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Let's get the facts straight. She loves a verbal ashtray. Never blowing smoke when she gets pissed. She's quick to castrate. Love her on a good day, love her on a bad day. Either way, she's here to stay.